Hey, what is good, gamers? Squirrely here. Thank you so much for joining me as always. Well, the time has finally come. Scream Fortress 13 has dropped. It's live. Go on, log onto your Steam right now, download the update, look at it, because there is a lot of stuff in here. And I made a prediction video not too long ago, and I gotta give myself credit, I guess. I got lucky, or I'm just good at predicting the patterns of Valve, because this update was almost exactly what I thought it would be, almost to the T, and that's only because I'm kind of assuming what we've been getting the last 4, 5, 6 years. It's been pretty much the same thing, a lot of community stuff, but what we did get this year is just a ton of content, so many things. But just to give you guys a spoiler alert, there's nothing in here about the bot situation or cheaters, nothing about that in here, nothing about spells coming back, whether it's old spells or new spells. Also, there's nothing about new unusual effects for weapons, and there's nothing in here as well about changing Halloween restricted items or new stranges or things like that. It's kind of our typical Scream Fortress update, but there's a lot of stuff in here. It is packed, so let's take a look, because I think overall, I would give this a pretty good rating, maybe 7 or 8 out of 10, especially if you're new to TF2, this is your first Scream Fortress, you are going to love it. So starting it off, we have 6 new community maps. Farmageddon, which is, come on, that's an amazing name. Farmageddon, Synesthetic, Los Muertos, Erebus, Terror, and Graveyard. I like how this is so simple, just Terror, that's it. It's like naming a map just bad or evil. It's just so simple. But let's take a quick look at these maps on here before I go through it. So Farmageddon looks really, really fun. And any map that has a theme like this, that is dark and spooky, and it's not too forced, like there's just, over the top, but the colors are great. It looks like it's something you'd read out of a horror novel or a movie. Just really, really spooky. The layout here looks pretty good too. Anytime there's like flank routes or multiple routes, that looks pretty fun to me. So I'm excited to play this one. Looks like there's custom models in here too. This just looks really, really cool. Next up on here, we have Los Muertos, I believe, and this one looks really, really cool. Another one that's King of the Hill, that's cool, but I love these maps that have a strong theme. To me, this looks like a Counter-Strike map. Or if you used to play Team Fortress Classic way back in the day, they had maps that were kind of like this, like you're in a big town or a city, these big open streets and tall buildings, and it's a lot of fun. It looks really good. The colors are great. It's King of the Hill. It looks like it has spells on here too, so I really, really like the idea of this. It's like on a floating island or something. Oh my gosh, so this one I'm really looking forward to playing. Now we have Erebus on here, which looks like it's Control Point and Attack Defend, which is always cool with me. I think those are really fun maps, a lot of close-up battles, but I like the theme of this one as well. It looks like it's easy to follow. There's plain paths on here. It's not like so scattered with so much geometry and chaos, like it's hard to move. I like maps that are kind of simple and straightforward, whether it's Dust Bowl or Badwater or Upward. There's just some of these newer maps, the tunnels are small, it's hard to move, there's just clutter everywhere. It's like TF2 is meant to be chaotic and a lot of movement and explosions and bouncing around, and this looks like a lot of fun. This map just looks really, really cool to me. I can already imagine some of these choke points and things that people are going to do in sniper sightlines. Looks like there's lava. I mean, this looks like a cool map. I haven't tried it yet. I haven't played it, but it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and it looks like there's a death pit too, so can't wait to play this Erebus. Alright, now we go on to Terror, which looks like a cool map, and it's Payload as well. So this one to me looks simple, straightforward. It's a spooky version of a Payload map. There's a train track down the middle. Looks like there's plenty of room for building and fighting indoors and outdoors. And I like the idea that there's pumpkins, but there's not too many pumpkins. Like on certain maps like Harvest and other ones, like there's just pumpkin bombs everywhere. Anywhere you go, you can just get one shot because a pumpkin spawn next to you. But looks like this one also has spells around here, but I like that there's some height, there's some different levels. That's great for, sticky jumpers, demo jumpers. I don't like maps that are too linear, but not super, super linear. It's a little bit hard to fight spies on those kinds of maps, but this looks like your just typical Payload map, but I want to see how it plays. I want to see the flow. Looks like there's a hell version, so there's probably teleporters in here or some bosses that spawn at the end, but another just a classic Halloween map. Anything Payload is always popular, typically fun, so I'm looking forward to playing Terror. Next up on here, we have one called Graveyard, and it says this is a twist on player destruction. It says there's no waiting time, so I think the idea is for this to be more fast-paced and chaotic and exciting, but just going off the visuals, this map looks great. I love this little, tower over here, this bridge. It's downtown, kind of like a ghost town, this forbidden city, or, city that's been left over for dead, however you want to say. But I like the levels, I like the architecture, the colors are great. There's definitely a lot of ghosts going on here. And I'm curious how this map plays, because sometimes for player destruction or other modes, you try them like once or twice, and either you don't understand it or it's just not enjoyable, and there's people just kind of give up on them, which is a bummer. So maybe this will be a new spin, something different and exciting, but I like the open areas here. The battles look like a lot of fun geometry, and this just looks really cool. I like just the vibe of this. It feels like a map that you could make an SFM movie on here, or just use this map for the whole thing, because it's really good looking. They also added a case called the Crimson Cache, or Cache case, and that's great because it looks different. It's not your typical case that comes out every single Halloween, so I guess that's good for a starter. We're making some progress on here. And it contains 20 new community-created cosmetic items that make up the Crimson case, and you can see on here there's a 1 in 5 chance, or have a chance to get 1 of 5 new community-created Halloween-restricted items as a bonus. So that's kind of cool. Get a bonus item. It looks like it's Halloween restricted. Maybe it's not even tradable either, but that's cool. I'm curious what they are. I haven't seen them yet. Also, you have a chance of getting Unusual Fire for the taunts as a bonus. So those bonus things are good. Kind of an incentive to unbox more. Coming down to the unusuals now, which a lot of people are excited about, and I'll take a look at the unusuals. If I think they're worthy, I'll probably make an update video on how I rank them and how I tier them and how popular they will be. But look at the sheer number. 15 new unusuals for hats alone. That's a ton. And 13 for taunts. That's also a ton. Holy cow. We also have war paints on here, so you can see 13 new community-created war paints. I haven't looked at all of them. I just really quickly went on there. They look like they're pretty Halloween-themed, I should say, so it's a little bit too much for me, but there's definitely going to be some cool ones in there. The ones I looked at were kind of so-so, but as usual, there's probably 2 or 3 nice ones, one really cool one, and the other ones are kind of like meh, which is fine. You need some variety of low-tier, mid-tier, high-tier on there. And you also have a chance of getting a taunt, Unusual Fire as a bonus item, so that's great. And I believe there's also, I don't think it's even listed in here, they have a good amount of new taunts that were added. I think 5 or 6 new taunts, but I don't even see that in here. Also down here, players who launch the game will receive the Soul Gargoyle, so if you haven't played that yet, you will get that. That'll let you do the Marasmus missions, transmute items, also attracts your points and souls. So lobby up with your friends, get 5 or 6 people, and you will just fly through contracts so fast. It's actually kind of ridiculous, but it's fun hearing your tracker just going off nonstop. So also, they said that the Halloween contracts have all been reset, so you can start over fresh, get all the new items that came out, the Halloween restricted items when you finish a contract. Let's see, what else do we have? Completing a contract gives players a classic Halloween item, which you normally get, and the chance of a Crimson Cache case. Oh, so you can get a case from there as well, or a War Paint case. So more ways to get these cases in a box, which is cool. They will continue on last year's event, Dead Souls player, gargoyles when you kill enemies during map objectives. So just saying that the gargoyles are going to spawn on the map, or you can collect them when you frag people like they normally do. And all cosmetic and taunt cases will grant a 2021 Halloween unusual effect instead of their normal unusual effects during the event. Oh, interesting. This does not include crates. Alright, and before I go, I will link you guys to the Steam Community Market, which has all the new items that have been added to the game, so you can check out the taunts, which were not listed in the update for some reason in the notes. Some really, really good taunts on here that I think are going to be really popular. A lot of them are looping taunts as well, which is fun. And the war paints, overall, I think, they're pretty good. There's a couple of nice ones, but they're all definitely themed around Halloween, so if you don't like that, you want something a little bit more classic that you could wear any time of year, then you might not like them so much. But there's some decent ones in here for sure. The colors are strong, and I think there's some custom variants on some of these as well, which makes it a little bit different than we normally get. This is going to be one of my favorite ones here for Soldier, the Poopy Dough, Go Ape, you can see on here, and, Ape Strong together. That's all I'm going to say. So unusuals on here. This one I think is going to be pretty popular as well, combining this with a burning hat or anything else. But, yep, I will link you guys to this. Take a look. Of course, more animal hats, more spooky hats, more Crone Stones themed hat, more top hats. Like, how many more similar hats do we need? But overall, I think it's pretty good. So thank you guys for joining me as always. Go play Scream Fortress 13. Have a great time enjoying the new maps and the old stuff. Definitely a fun time to be online. Everyone's in a good mood. And yeah, don't forget to say hi and what's up if you see me in game. And keep a lookout for the next video. I'm going to see what I can do, put things together. I'm going to be traveling for a little bit, but yeah, hopefully I can play as much as possible before this ends. So take care. See you guys soon. Peace.
Don't know what to tell you, Jack.
But there's 2 Monoculuses?
Monoculi.
No, it's binoculi. It's binoculi,
What?